Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the shop. Hope you're having a great day. Let's get back on these handles. Alright, here we go. Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. Man, I'm getting a haircut Friday. I can always tell when I need a haircut because I start looking like Beaker from the Muppets. Yeah, man. Let me get this out of the way first. Please subscribe if you like what you see in this video. I've got plenty of videos just like it. Links down below for shirts like this. And also Amazon links. So, I'm trying to decide if I want to do this one first or the Karambit first. Karambit, we're going to do an Anzo pattern. But this one means we got to hook up the disc grinder, and I got to be honest, I'm a little nervous because I've never used the disc grinder. So let's take the challenge first. To the disc grinder. Alright, from watching Ecom Knives and Nick Wheeler and all them guys, you get a 3M feathering disc adhesive. You turn it on slow, and you just use the feathering stuff to that looks pretty cool, huh? That's it. From what I understand, this makes it easy to peel off and put back on. And then you can put other pieces on. Oops, I was going to do this in slow motion, but oh well. That'll be for next time. This one we're learning together, right? Let's see if I can do this without getting my arm in the shot. Trying to learn this videography thing. Not covering up your shots. Yeah. A long time ago, DB Blades was like, man, you need to get a disc grinder. So, and a whole bunch of other people told me the same thing. So, instead of spending like $800 on one, I think the motor was like 150 bucks because it's 1 horsepower 110, and the VFD was only like 100 some bucks because it's a 1 horsepower. Now, I don't know if 1 horsepower, a lot of people make the argument that 1 horsepower is good enough for a 2x72 grinder, but I don't know. I know you can use 110 with a 1.5 horsepower, and that's the lowest I would go on a 2x72. Alright, now we got some sandpaper to use for the live stream. Running nice and smooth. I put a clamp back here to make sure it doesn't wobble and all that stuff, so we should be good. Let me set up another camera and we'll get the 2 or 3 shot going. Alright, so we make sure it's all tight. One reason I like to use liners, it's kind of a guide. You don't go past the liners. You just round it off down here. I guess I'll try this side for that, and that side for that. I know from watching Nick Wheeler and all that, you're not supposed to go past halfway point because it'll pull it in. Alright, slow and steady. Got my earplugs on. Well, I went over a little bit right here, so I'm going to have to put this on the 2x72 and bring this down a little bit. So that's one thing I know I'll have to be careful. You can see I went over just a little bit, showing the metal. That's what you want to be careful of. That's what happens when you first start out, you make mistakes like that. But that's alright, I'll just take my 2x72 and bring it straight down and cover that up. That's why I try to leave these liners untouched, like here. I just went over a little bit there. Alright, I had this in reverse to run this way, so now let's put it forward and go this way. I think the rest we're going to have to do on the horizontal grinder to get this all shaped in. And then there's a few things like I'd like to dip it down in here and dip this down. Except for that spot right there. It didn't go too bad. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely bring this down a little bit. So that's what we'll do. We'll go to the horizontal grinder and I'll show you how I'm going to fix this. Alright, I got the small wheel attachment. We're just going to start right here. Put the groove in here. Try not to go past the liner. And then we'll take them off and work on the front. Put the other wheel on and go to town. Alright, here we go. We're just going to take this down to the liner here and bring it up maybe a little bit below this hole. You can see I'm a little off here, so I'm going to have to match this side to this side. That's one thing, when you come in here, you can see they're a little off. So you're going to have to go back and forth to match them up. Alright, so there we go. We're pretty even on these. You know, once we go up higher, this is a worn 36, really worn. That's why I saved my worn belts for my handles. It's feeling pretty good so far. I'm going to put the bigger wheel on to finish all this. But right now, let's get to the Anzo pattern. Now I'm going to have to make sure I hold these together because they seem that looseness. So, but let me show you something. When you start out doing an Anso, you usually do this because you're so scared of going over. I've seen a lot of guys do it and I did it too. This is one of my older knives. But yeah, so you don't go too far because you're afraid you're going to mess it up, so you just leave it like that. And then you make excuses like, oh, I like that look better. So we're just going to start. We're going to feed it into there. And then we're going to flip it around and we're going to start on one side and do the top and then flip it over and try to match it. Then we'll do the bottom and stuff. Here we go. You want to make sure you don't hit this. I mean, you can always put a liner in it later if you want to make it thicker, but it's better to try to stay away from the top. And what I do is I kind of see the thickness of this and try to break that in the middle so it'll hit here. But you just want to start it out putting it in and then we'll refine it later. Well, I'm going to do one more here, and then we'll flip it over and try to match it here. So now we start, and we're going to try to match the middle of here with the middle of the wheel. So there's our start. You can see I need to bring some of these down more, but let's start on the bottom and then we'll work it in. Okay, so I had to redo some of these. You saw I went over. That's the thing, you can keep going over them. You just have to watch out. Like, see here, I went too low. So we are gonna have to put a liner under that. But we can still work it out. Now that we got it kind of gonna put them together, now we'll just kind of work them together and see. Alright, so there we go. We got one side done. Now, we kind of look at this and try to match it to this. See how this comes up in here? We're going to want to try to match that. So it's right under the hole right here. And then everything else comes down. And we should be okay. Okay, so one thing important when you start, like, see how I kind of went over this one into this one and this one? Make sure they're flat. So you have to smooth them out, even if you cut into each other. So you can tell how thin I went and how I cut into each other here. But as long as they're smooth, they come out looking pretty good. And then you're going to want to smooth off this top, like here. See how I took off that? So we'll smooth that down. So there we go for the start. Let me go put this on the, well, here's the crammer right here. If I can find where all my pivots drop to. Okay, we're gonna have to sink these, but there you go. Right here, see how that's got a divot in it? We gotta take that out. That's the other thing, if you go too far, you can always bring it down a little bit. I think we're gonna have to put a liner on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a liner out and glue it on tonight. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how we shape it. But that's the basics. You know, if you go too far, you have to put a liner under like I did right there. That's how you start an Anzo. Alright, I got my handles all glued up like everything else, like I did in the first one. Tomorrow we'll do this. It's like 3 a.m. so see you tomorrow. Take it easy. We're back. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I'm just going to do a slow motion of taking these apart, drilling them out, and then we'll high speed through it to get them all connected up and all that. And then we'll finish the other knife, and that should be it. Here we go. Alright, here's a trick I haven't showed much lately. It's one I learned from Ecom Knives. These are Bosch masonry drill bits. But the tips on them are flared like this, so they make an instant center point. Make sure it spins straight. And then you have this to countersink. It'll find the middle. And you just check. See, it's already sank down in there. Boom. And you just countersink them as low as you want. Boom. See? Nice and countersinked. See? I got the 50mm lens, so it'll take me a while to adjust to that. I don't want to come too close, but see? There we go. We're all in. Perfect. Yeah, these things are awesome. Ekamnash showed me that. Alright, I'm going to put this on the disc grinder to flatten it out. Just hit these real slow, I'll show you that. And then we'll go back to time lapse. I'm going to turn it down slow and just kiss these bottoms to make sure they're flat. I just learned an important lesson. Luckily, I got fast reflexes. This little part hanging over, make sure you don't get too close to that disc grinder. One good thing about putting the liners on, I don't have to worry about that loose handle thing anymore. Man, they are on there. So now, back to time lapse. I'm just going to clean all this up, take these handles off, put them together and do these fronts, and then we should be done. I'm going to thin this one out a little bit. You can see where I'm going to bring it back because this is just too big for the hand. So I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. Also, there's one spot here where I didn't get the glue off before it dried. So I'm going to have to hit that too. I'll probably do that first. Whew, I almost made a big mistake. If you look at the line here, I probably would have cut right up into this hole right here. So what I'm going to do first is with this wheel, take off as much as I can on the back, just down a little bit, and I'll take just a little bit up here off, and then I'll put my 1-inch wheel on and take off this and shape this out. We'll put the handle back on and shape all this with the 1-inch wheel and all that stuff. I'm going to hit this with the big wheel and then take it down to the 1-inch wheel and all that, take the handles off and cut all that. So next part should just all be time lapse. Let's get to it. Bam, there we go. We got our countersunk bolts. Everything's tightened up. I still got to tighten up a little bit. Hold on. Woo, yeah. Man. It's right in the fingers. So now I just put a 120 belt on there, tighten it up. It's Thanksgiving night though, so got that one. This one's all done. I countersunk this. I got one more hole to countersink here and these two. But I'm so glad I checked those holes. Man, that feels so much better in the hand. So yeah, I got hit with the 120. Then I got to get in here with some some sandpaper or something. Maybe I'll kick it like that. But then I got the rest of this to get. Still a few spots that need to be cleaned up and stuff. But for the most part, that's it. You can even see right here and right here, I need to bring this side up a little bit more so this side and this side matches. That's one good thing about this two-tone G10. It will kind of tell you where you need to fix, like that needs to come up. But that's about it. This one's nice and good. Give it a nice clean shot. Yeah. So now we just gotta hit this at 122 and yeah, much better. Alright. Back to the bench. Well, that's about it. Got these done. Just a little bit hand sanding and cleaning up. Man, I was just editing the video, I almost forgot. You can tell it's Friday because got the old haircut. Hope everyone in America had a happy Thanksgiving. And hope everyone else is doing great. And the weekend turns out good. I'm a little nervous because it's like Friday night, 1:30, 2 a.m. I still have this to finish editing. But that means I'll probably stay up Saturday or sleep Saturday. And I don't want to miss another Sunday live stream. So I got to figure something out there. Anyway, thanks for all the support. The links, shirts, and all that are down below. Amazon links are down below. And also on my website, you can see the pictures of what you're clicking on. Hope you all have a great day. And as always, take it easy. Let me get this out of the way.